No. Mm. I was trying to schedule this for 8:30, and apparently I goofed, and here we are live. So whoever is in here first, welcome to my world. It has been indeed a strange time. I really did want to schedule this, but I had a crazy day today. I was out good part of the day and just got home a very little while ago. I gave Ruby her food. Oh, hi. Yeah, I just gave Ruby her food and I came on here, so it is what it is. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to eat dinner later, but I figured the cookie held me for a while. That was a good cookie. That was a really good cookie. Yes, Ken, hi. Nice to see you here. It could be just the two of us. I don't see anybody else coming in yet. Of course, I'm early. It's 8:27 and I told everybody I'd be on at 8:30. So it is what it is. Um, I took my own snacks and things with me today with my own little ice thing. I didn't eat it, not a bit of it. I brought some grapes, I brought some cheese and some crackers, and ate absolutely nothing. I had the piece of pizza and I had my cookie, so that was it. Oh, hi. I guess there are some other people that have come on in. Welcome to, once again, welcome to my world. I totally fouled it up. I was trying to schedule it and accidentally went live immediately. So forgive me. You know I am perfectly imperfect, but here I am and happy to be here and really, really looking forward to spending some time with you because it has been a little while. I can't believe how fast things, what? I can't believe how fast time goes. I cannot, hi, I cannot believe that, yes, I see that. And hi and welcome. Um, I can't believe it's a week since David was here, and he's back now, home. And I'm not sure exactly when he's coming in again, but he did say that it's very possible that he'll be back in New York in either November or December. So I'm looking forward to that. He was at the Tryon Film Festival in North Carolina, and he said it was really quite wonderful. So he enjoyed that experience, and apparently he was interviewed there and spent some good time trying to get contact for his. I keep wanting to call it a channel, and it's not a channel. It is his website, and it's, for those who don't know, it is called 2-13.tv, and they have shorts on there that new filmmakers or filmmakers have that are all new to the audience. It's stuff that they've just recently done or perhaps have done before but has not been shown. So that's a good thing, and looking forward to seeing more about that. Not sure where the crowd is. Omina, is it Omina? Where are you watching from? What part of the world are you from? Don't know if you're still on here. So if any of the group is on, let me know. And hi, I sound energetic. I'm absolutely the United States. Okay. Yes, I think many of us here are from the United States. I'm actually quite tired. I've been working all day. Yesterday I worked a lot in the house, and it's hard to do everything. It really is. I wish I could be Samantha of Bewitched back in the day and twitch my nose and make it get done. That would be a great thing. But I'm very, very grateful these days. I'm extremely grateful about my results of my scan, and that I can look forward to the next 3 months without really having to think about it a whole lot. So I'm happy about that. And we'll see what happens next time. My next appointment is scheduled for February, I think it's February 10th. So we'll pick it up at that point and see. But for now, it's all good. Having spent the time with David has been wonderful. New South Park on Comedy Central tonight at 10 Eastern Time. Okay. I think, yeah, I really want to catch up on some new things. I've not been around a whole lot, so I haven't had time to do it, but I would love to do that. I'm getting all kinds of neighborhood messages. Apparently, people are losing power, and there are some, some issues going on about town. So, anyway, David had a wonderful time in New York, and an even better time in North Carolina. And he went back to Arizona yesterday. And I need to hear more about it, but he needed a day to kind of chill and just get back to, I guess, his time zone, because it's hard, that constant travel. So, yeah, a lot of people are talking on my local channel about losing power. So I don't anticipate doing it, but if anything happens to this, apparently there is some issue going on locally. So we shall see. Is there anybody else on here from the core group? I know Ken is on, Carol's on. I'm trying some new recipes. I did one for chicken made with, it was chicken breast breaded and baked in the oven, made with mozzarella on top and freshly grated Parmesan cheese. So that was nice. And it was a nice change of pace. And I ordered my first stuff from Amazon Fresh. I don't know if any of you use that. I've never done it before. Most of it was really good. I made a mistake by ordering one frozen thing, and it arrived totally watered, So I did refreeze it, which is probably not a good idea. It is good. It's something I really enjoy making and eating, and I'm doing a lot more with the vegetables, and I want to start making some casseroles. There are a few people that I watch with some regularity now on YouTube. They do shorts, and they really make some great food that is really easy to make. So I'm going to try some of those recipes. If they're good, I'll come on here and share it with you. And if they're not, then we will go on to others. I can't believe this. There's a light in my kitchen that's flickering on and off. So I'm not sure what's happening with that. So again, I just wanted to come on because I haven't been here for a few weeks. And I thought that I would just catch everybody up. As I say, it's been crazy here. I really haven't had time to focus on anything other than the things that I've had to get done. So oh God, a lot of people are talking about blackouts and power surges here. So that's not good. Anyway, one of the good things about ordering this stuff on Amazon is that you can get it delivered so quickly. Hi, Rosie, it's good to see you. I ordered in the afternoon and everything arrived at night. Also, they have some phenomenal pricing. Some of their stuff, I was showing it to Ken. I get vitamin C. I get the chewable vitamin C, the Nature Made, and it was $14 and change. Locally, it was even more. And they had it for $10.99, and for a short period of time, they reduced the price to $7.53 or something like that. And I wound up buying 2 of them because it's something I take every day of my life. I'm a firm believer in vitamin C as, well, it has the antioxidants, and it's really, really good for your health. If you feel like you're coming down with anything, if you feel under the weather, take it. It really, really boosts your immune system. I take 2 500 milligram chewable tablets every day. If I feel like I'm coming down with something, I take an extra 2. I also take vitamin D. I take a multivitamin. And I really think it's made a difference in terms of how I've done through all of this, all of the challenges that I've had with my health lately. Did any, well, I'm sure most of you have heard the news about Diane Keaton passing away. I thought that was really sad. I mean, she always struck me as being, I mean, she was 79, but she always struck me as being younger because of her persona. She really is. You do, yeah, you do, it excrete everything that your body doesn't need. Hi, Sandy, it's good to see you. But your body takes whatever it needs. And the vitamin C for me, I've been taking it for probably 50 years. Yeah, it really is good, Sandy. I cannot believe the price that they had. It was superb. And a lot of the other things that I got as well. I could not believe, I try to have sugar-free things when I can, and I love the Smucker's sugar-free preserves. They're really good. In my local supermarket, well, I take vitamin D as well. I take 2,000 units a day of that almost all the time. And I take a multivitamin as well. So I really, and I started on turmeric. I don't take that all the time, but I'm trying to take it more and more, and I think it helps a lot. And I also take cranberry pills if I feel that I'm having anything coming on in terms of urinary tract infection. So yeah, it has made a huge difference. I can feel it in my energy level is up most of the time, and I'm doing a lot and I'm working really hard. So to be able to sustain my energy is a gift for me. You used to get bronchitis every year. Yeah, you know that it is amazing how much it helps. I had told Ken about it when I first knew him, and I told him to take vitamin C, and he told me that he drank orange juice every day. And I said, well, you get about 60 milligrams in a glass of orange juice. So you'd have to take a vat of it to get anything equivalent to what you get in the pills. But for anybody with any kind of health challenges, I suggest to you, if you're not already taking it, take it. It makes a difference. It really makes a difference. I had a wonderful allergist. After David was born, I developed significant allergies to the point where I just couldn't breathe through my nose for a while. And I was on Afrin, and I started to get an ab reaction to that, and it really made it worse over time. I had to suffer probably, I'm thinking, a couple of weeks until I could breathe through my nose again. And it was a quite terrible time. But the doctor suggested that I start taking 500 milligrams of vitamin C every day. And he said, you will see a difference. Now, the interesting thing is, that was long before all the studies, and that was before anybody had recommended vitamin C. So he was quite amazing and ahead of his time. So I've been doing it all these years, and I'm really grateful for it. I did want to say something also. My last doctor's visit with, when she asked me how I was feeling, and my trepidation about taking my CAT scan and seeing if there were any new growths, if there was anything that came back, if there was anything suspicious going on. I was worried this time. And when she came in and told me that she didn't see anything, they really were rosy. Those old school doctors were great. The Afrin rebound, you're right, Sandy, it was a terrible time. But when I went to the doctor this time, as I say, I was really nervous. And when she told me that she didn't see anything new, I was thrilled. I just felt as if I had given a new lease on life, at least for now. So it was great, but I knew inherently that something was going on that was good, because I was able to bend over and I could actually reach my foot on the right side, which I haven't been able to do for years, since the first surgery back in 2018. So that was quite miraculous for me. I don't know if it's going to be long lasting, but I'm grateful for it, and I'm going to accept it for what it is and just not even think about it until I have to go back. So I'm really happy about that. I'm just hoping that I can pick up on some of the things that I was doing and be able to live my life more the way that it used to be before everything changed with this. So I'd like to do more of my real estate again. Time for me to renew my license, so I have to do all of that. I have to do the schooling, and I have to do that. And it's going to be a hectic couple of months. An article on how doctors don't examine, just do question. You're right, Sandy. They don't examine. They poked you. They sure did. Yeah. Sandy says, now they ask if I can put my own clothes on. It is really true. I remember after I had a heart episode back in 2007, whereby I had a 95% blockage of I think it was the lower descending, what is it? I'm going blank on it. The LAD. And they had to insert a stent. And it really changed things. Well, it's funny, Rosie. It's not, I don't know that I'm courageous. I think when we have things that we have to face, we have no choice. So we just kind of push ahead. and just do whatever it is that we have to do to get to the next place that hopefully is going to be better. You kind of you work with the cards that you're dealt, and I believe, because of my entire belief system, that we are on this earth to learn lessons, and we are each here on our own journey, and we need to see the things that we need to learn. Sandy says they asked me if I thought I was pregnant. Possibly. I say I haven't had a cycle in 30 years. Yeah, I think I may have, well, I know that I mentioned to some of you when I had gone into the hospital for my latest surgery that before the surgery, they asked if you could possibly be pregnant. Look at me. Could I possibly be pregnant? So I said to the nurse, if I am, it's time for another world celebration. Which later on, when they were acting in the bizarre way that they did when I was coming out of the anesthesia, they were talking to each other, and she was saying that how bizarre I was for saying it, you know, it's time for a world celebration. I think she took it literally, and obviously she had no sense of humor. I mean, exactly. It's like, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's something that we need to be concerned about these days. But let's face it, having children when we do, when we're younger, is what we have to do, because who has the stamina for it as you get older? It really, all for Medicare. Yeah, I am also very concerned about what's going to be happening with our insurance and the coverage, and what we might be losing as time goes on with, things in Medicare, certainly Medicaid, and all of the peripheral services creating issues for people. So I think we all have to pray that this time passes with as little damage as possible. I am hopeful but nervous. So I hope that all of that goes well. I really, I didn't mention to you all that Rosie is saying, I'm helping raise my 7-year-old grandson. My daughter-in-law passed away last year very suddenly. I cannot imagine anything harder to do, and God bless her, and God bless your whole family, Rosie. It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare that nobody wants to ever have to deal with. I would think having the 7-year-old grandson around is a joy, but it's hard. I mean, especially as they get into that age, it's really tough. Is his father present all of the time? Well, obviously he must work, but is he available to spend a lot of time with your grandson? I know the time that I had with my boys before they moved to Arizona was joyful. It was really meaningful. And I always used to say that having grandchildren was the gift you got for having children. You're on the school pickup line for a 9-year-old getting, yes, I think you're absolutely right, Sandy. It is very, very hard to sit anywhere, but especially to sit in the car for a long period of time and not move without being as stiff as a board. I know in the times when Kenneth comes along with me in the car and then I have to get out of the car, it's awful. I grunt and groan when I'm on my own and I'm forced to get up and get out all the time. It's better for me in some ways and harder for me in some ways. Oh, Rosie, he has ADHD. Oh, that's right. You had mentioned that your son is on disability, so he is around. It is, ex- you pull the seat back and fall asleep. I really, these days, I have to tell you, these days I find myself, I remember when I first moved into my house, which now is 40 years ago. My mother used to come to visit all the time before she moved in. And then my aunt came to visit. Um, and every time my aunt came to visit, sometime during the time that we sat in the living room and talked, all of a sudden you would see her chin hit her chest and she'd be out cold. But of course, the minute your chin hits your chest, it wakes you up. So she would get up and kind of look around, and then within minutes, she was back asleep. And I find myself doing that now too, and it makes me laugh because I don't think of myself as an old person, although Lord knows I fit the description, but I don't feel it. My father always used to say that aging was life's cruel joke because inside, hi Ange, nice to see you. Inside you feel the same, but your body just does not want to play. You're just not the way you used to be and you can't do the things you used to do. I am astonished, quite frankly, that I can do as much as I do in my house and with the Ubering and with trying to get things sorted out and just dealing with everything that I have to deal with. It is tough. It is really tough. I have to tell you, Ange, I think of you so often because when I fall asleep, I would say by 10 o'clock, 10:30, I often fall asleep in my chair, but it could be an hour later, it could be 3 hours later, and I wake up, and all of a sudden, there you are in the middle of the night, and it's like nobody else is in the world. It feels lonely. Yeah, it is very, very hard to accept that we have changed in our physicality when we do feel the same. And those of us who don't have to deal with dementia, and those of us who don't have to deal with debilitating disease that makes your life miserable every day of your life. And I know that we all have things to various degrees. Sandy said she's 28 with the body of an 82-year-old. Yeah, I get it. It is very, very lonely in the middle of the night when you wake up. It feels as if you're the only person on earth sometimes. And I find that's the time I need to try to find some way to not think. Because if you sit and start thinking about all the things that are wrong and all the things that are not working and all the things that you're afraid of, the night is endless and it's draining and you lose the next day. And yeah, it is bad at night. It really is bad at night. I know for me, ever since my first surgery, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not in pain with that right leg, my thigh, that whole right lower quadrant with I had a massive surgery, and I've had surgery there 3 times. I had a friend years ago who had several surgeries. She had ovarian cancer, and she had several surgeries, and she said at one point they should just put a zipper in. And her thought sort of has come back to, to my mind. over the years as this kind of thing happens. But yes, anything you have going on in your life, whether it is physical or whether it is something you're dealing with on an emotional level, the middle of the night is tough. So what I try to do is I will either, sometimes I'll get on my phone and I'll play some games, but the problem with that is I get involved in that and then I'm more awake. So I try most of the time. Sandy is saying I wake up to snoring. I use nasal spray, Oh, is this going to be a joke? Oh, there you go. Yeah, she said yeah, sat up to fall asleep, still snored, and then realized it was the dog next to her. Hi, Myra. It's been a while. It's nice to see you. I hope all is going well. I love seeing your photos of you with the kids on Fridays. I think it's wonderful, and I think you're so blessed having that time. I think it's wonderful to have them so close by. I have to tell you, I'm just so amazed when I think of my grandkids. It's astonishing to me. Um, it it's amazing to me that the time has gone by so fast. When David was about 18 months old, I was bouncing him on my knee, and my mother-in-law was sitting next to me, and she said, Jerry, enjoy every moment because you blink and it's over. And that is truly the way it goes. It goes so fast. So to the young people of the world, I say enjoy those moments. Don't wish them away. Don't take them for granted. Enjoy them because truly you blink and you're in a different place in your life. I was telling my daughter-in-law, my ex-daughter-in-law the other day, she was talking about my grandson Dylan. I am so impressed by him. He's 18 years old. Or did he just turn 19? I think he might have just turned 19. And he's a budding chef. And he's so committed to it and he does such beautiful work. And he makes things that are wonderful, but he's not satisfied with that. He wants to go to Europe and he wants to work in Europe. And he wants to work in different countries and he wants to learn their way of cooking and to incorporate it into his own work. And I'm astonished that at his age, he knows what he wants to do. And I have to give his mother incredible credit because she was on, I think it was Facebook the other day. It really does fly by. And she was on Facebook or Instagram or one of those, asking anybody if they knew any restaurateurs in Europe because she wanted to help Dylan get his resume out to see if he could get a job there. He would like to travel for a period of time before he comes back here to work again. And I think it's astounding. Okay, I'm going to go back to the remarks. Rosie is saying, oh my God, yes, I wish I could go back. Where did the time go? I feel the same way, Rosie. It does fly by too quickly, Myra. Sandy is saying, my daughter can't cut apron strings to her 18-year-old son. The strings are rubber bands. It's a very hard thing to do. It really is a very hard thing to do. I remember thinking when David was growing up, when he was at the stage of almost getting out, I used to worry if God forbid, he wound up in the armed services. I was terrified of that. And it was different when we were young and when there was conscription and you had to go. And now it's, it's by choice. But hello, Boris. My name is Jerry. So, yeah, I lost my train of thought now. Oh, so I was so afraid of his having to go that I always used to say if he did go, they would be taking him with me stretched out on the floor with my hands on the cuff of his pants, dragged along with him because there was no way that I was ready to let go. I'm grateful that I did let him move on to his life and to live the life that he was destined to lead, even though he is thousands of miles away from me. And I wish it were otherwise. But I would rather have him be happy 3,000 miles away than me to be happy and have him here with him feeling as if he was not fulfilling his destiny. So I'm really happy for it all, but it's extremely hard to let go. It really is. So to my daughter-in-law Michelle, I give her all the credit in the world. She's handling it very well, as is my son, and he's happy for Dylan as well. And I think they've done a phenomenal job with both their kids, especially given the fact that they had to do a good part of it with them not doing it together. I mean, they did it in concert with each other, but they were not together in the process. So I think it's a wonderful thing because I think so many kids start out with so many things against them or so many things that they need to overcome before they get to the point where they can start living their own lives and just becoming the people that they were meant to be. I would love to live long enough to see the boys get to where they're going and to really start to enjoy their lives. Sandy is saying kid is an hour away in dorm, shows up Friday for mom's food, goes back on Monday. Next year we'll try 2 hours away and see how far the rubber bands go. It is true, Rosie, that we realize how hard life is, but I think we also realize there are just so many wonderful things about this life if we let ourselves experience it. Look at all the friendships that we're able to make today with people who don't live anywhere near us. They may be on the other side of the globe, and we are able to interact and really care about each other and be an integral part of each other's lives on a very real level. That's an amazing thing. That didn't exist so many years ago. We have, so many of us, so much more of an understanding. I think one of the greatest lessons I've learned, and I'm wanting to do a video about this, about some of the things that I wish I had known earlier. Not so young, Boris. So I think one of the things that I've learned is that I have wasted a great deal of time worrying about things that never came to pass. Some of them did, but a lot of them didn't. And all that time and all of that energy and, wasted when it could have been so much better spent. So I think that's something that maybe we can give ourselves a little more grace with and to give ourselves the space to let things fall into place or let things segue to the next step and not try not to worry about it. I'm really much better about not focusing on the things, a lot of the things over which I have no control. Not everything. I'm facing some really, really tough times right now. I'm having some very serious issues about my house and whether I'll get to make the choice about leaving it or whether the choice will be made for me. and it's very frightening. But even with that, I'm trying very, very hard not to buy the problem before it gets here, which will be soon. But I'm trying to take it a day at a time. I'm trying to wake up and say to myself, it's a new day. There is all kind of possibility out there for every one of us when the new day starts. We have to kind of let go of the stuff we hung on to from yesterday sometimes and just let's see how today develops. I also am a firm believer in the fact that you draw to you that which you put out into the world. So if you believe that there are good things that can happen for you and to you, they really can. You open up the universe to meet you halfway and to allow good things to come into your world. When you anticipate only the worst and you think that life is harsh and life on earth is harsh and your life in particular is terrible, you bring more of that into your life. You bring more of the negativity. So I would say if any of you, any of us, myself included, can just start the day saying, let's see where it takes us, and just not presupposing what it's going to be like. Okay, Rosie is saying it's helpful for those of us who are often at home feeling lonely, anxious, or depressed. You're right, Rosie, and it is a hard thing to do. I find for myself sometimes I just need to, I use my Echo Show. I really don't watch television a lot, but I use my Echo Show. When I need to be distracted, I will go to YouTube. I will go to old television shows, the shows from the 1950s and 60s, the sitcoms. Some of them play very well over time. It's amazing how well they travel through the decades. And but I'm not focused on it. So I can totally relax. And when I need to fall asleep at 4 or 4:30 in the morning, and I put one of those shows on and I just kind of lay back in my chair and just give myself permission to fall asleep and deal with whatever I have to deal with the next day, it makes it easier. Because unfortunately, as Ange, I'm sure, knows better than most of us, because she has the same problem with insomnia as I do, is that, the more you lose the sleep time at night, the harder the next day is to cope with. So you wind up losing 2 days, and that's hard. Yeah, 2 a.m. I Love Lucy, The Honeymooners, really, those are. And I find, I mean, I watched All in the, not All in the Family, A Family Affair. And I didn't think that that was going to work for me, but it did. It was good. If you have good performers in it, it really certainly helps. I've watched so many of them, and I find that it relaxes me. Maybe part of it is because it harkens back to a time that was simpler feeling, a time when you had so much ahead of you and you had so much to look forward to, and there were endless possibilities. So maybe that has something to do with it, but I find it really relaxing. I also find lately I've been seeing a lot of documentary, I don't even know if they are documentaries, a lot of videos that people put out about people in the news, whether they are in the media or people who have great wealth, who were born into it, and they talk about their lives, and everybody has things that they've had to deal with that have been really hard. So it doesn't matter who you are, and it doesn't matter what kind of a life you've led. But I find sometimes when I put those on, I started to watch, I guess it was yesterday, because they put out so many things about Diane Keaton, and everybody was wanting to get in on putting out videos on her and her life and all of that. And one thing led to another, because when you watch something like that, they make recommendations of other things that you can watch. So I've seen some really interesting shows about it and learned some things about these people's lives that I might not have known. And it wasn't always easy. And even though they had what a lot of us might think of as blessed lives or easier lives than many of us think we have, they really weren't on so many levels. I mean, look at somebody like Gloria Vanderbilt, who had so much and so little all at the same time. I mean, she did not have a mother around when she was growing up most of the time. There was all that fear about being kidnapped with the Lindbergh kidnapping. There were all the losses that she faced as an adult, and her life was not easy. And there are so many of them like that. They were talking about Diane Keaton and how she got to a very lofty level in film and on Broadway, but yet her personal life was not as easy as some people who live very simple lives. So it really is amazing. I think some of us think that we're less fortunate when in fact not true. Mary Tyler Moore loved the funeral of Charles. Oh, I have to tell you, every time I see that episode, Sandy, of the Mary Tyler Moore, with Chuckles the Clown, I can't stop laughing because it was just so well done. It was really funny. She was a germaphobe? Wait a minute. Who are you talking about being a germaphobe? You're not talking about Mary Tyler Moore, are you? Or were you talking about Diane Keaton? Really, I didn't know that about her. I really didn't. I mean, I know, well, she had some issues in the family history in terms of skin cancer, I think, or not necessarily skin, but cancer. I think her father and her brother, and then of course she had. So maybe she was afraid of getting that because of what she saw growing up. But she also apparently had an issue with not feeling loved, or not feeling as if she didn't have the feeling of being valued, it appears. So that's very interesting. I'm going to have to rewatch it, Sandy, to see that, yeah, that you don't see her in short sleeves. I think there actually was one scene somewhere, maybe it was in one of the Godfather movies, that I seem to remember. It might have been the third one. I'm not sure. I'd have to go take a look at it again. But that's really interesting to know. But yeah, isn't President Trump also a bit of a germaphobe? I think he didn't like to shake hands with people, really. And I think there are other people. What's his name? Oh God, the comedian, the guy who's on. Oh, oh God, what show is it? Not. One of those shows where they have all these performers on. The ones that started out in London. Howie Mandel. Thank you, Sandy. I don't know how you got me there, but you got me there. Yeah, Howie Mandel is a real germaphobe. And he has talked about it many times, and it's amazing. They also, I think they said that Johnny Carson wasn't too thrilled with kind of touching people or having people touch him all the time either. Yeah, it was interesting because I remember I worked at Sotheby's many, many years ago, and I remember Johnny Carson coming in for one of the auctions, and when he was walking down the hallway, at that time in his life, having nothing to do with being a germaphobe, but walking down the the length of the room, he had a way of walking where he always walked close to the wall, and he sort of had his head facing the wall. He had thinning hair, and he had a kind of balding spot, and apparently he did not want people to see that. So we all have the things that make us feel less than, or make us feel that we could be better, should be better. Okay, Rosie is saying that short sleeves as a young Kay in Godfather 2. Okay, I definitely remembered something like that with her. But yeah, I mean, it's very, very interesting to me to learn about, as I say, the things that we all face. Nobody gets away scot-free when it comes to having things to deal with that are not easy. I know Mary Tyler Moore had type 1 diabetes. She was saying, I watched a documentary just the other day, and she was saying that when they checked her at one point, I forgot what had happened, but it was not about that. But they ran blood work, and they found out when they first diagnosed her with diabetes, they said that, the blood sugar should have been between 75 and 100 or something. Hers was 700 something. That's very scary. I mean, I can't even imagine it. Yeah, having something debilitating like that makes you live your life differently. So you have to accommodate it. And so many people have to do it. Remember Lola Falana? She had her things to deal with also. And God, I'm really having a hard time tonight. I'm tired. So Michael J. Fox having the issues that he had to deal with. So with the good that comes into many lives, so does the difficulty. So it is what it is. No one would know Lola. You're absolutely right, Sandy. That was a long time ago. She was an absolutely beautiful young woman who was a dancer, and she was just very graceful. Oh, you do, Rosie? Yes. Yeah, we are from that time frame. And look at Annette Funicello. I mean, Annette had all of that fame early on, and she had such a tragic, difficult life toward the end of her life, and she lived it with such grace. We is old. I think you said it wonderfully, Sandy. We is old. So, yeah. Yeah. So again, I mean, it is what it is. We also have some wonderful things in our lives. If we think about the people who mean a lot to us, those of us who have children and grandchildren in the world, now we have to know terms like sick. Is that 6, 7? Or I don't get it. What am I missing? Oh, your 12-year-old cat is diagnosed with diabetes. One of Ken's relatives by marriage, well, his relative, yeah, her mother, excuse me, I don't remember, I think it was the dog. who had diabetes, and she had to give it shots every day. That's really hard, but so many of us would do almost anything for our animals. You know, my friend Shelley was telling me recently that his daughter is absolutely frantic because she has had this dog for many years, and he had a seizure about a week ago, and she took him to the doctor, to the vet, and they had all kinds of tests, and they determined that he has some kind of a heart condition, and she's going to have to give him medication, and she's very worried about him. So it's, yeah, getting insulin shots twice a day. She had to do that too. So, but it's very hard because oh, okay. Um, oh, God. Anyway, so it's very hard, but we don't want to give them up. And Shelley was saying he couldn't believe how much I'm not hip. I'll try. um, she was saying, you know, he was saying he can't believe how much money she spent on the vet, and you just do it. You just do what you have to do. So it's not an easy thing. It is what it is. As as my mother always used to say, this too shall pass. Well, is there anything that any of you would like to talk about tonight? We're always talking about the things that come to my mind, but is there anything special going on for any one of you that you would like to share? Yes, Ken is definitely hip. He's cool, and he is having incredible fun with Meta AI on Messenger. I don't know if any of you use it, but I had tried it and it was a lot of fun, and showed him how to do it, and he is now the resident expert. And it is a lot of fun because you can do incredible things with photos, and maybe in the next video I'll show you some of the ones that I've done. It is a lot of fun. And for those of us who neither want nor can afford necessarily plastic surgery, you can look really a heck of a lot better. And I think Ken would agree with that as well. No, he's going to say he looks great anyway. Sandy is saying my grandson made Martin Luther King. Oh, saying how great I am? Oh, okay. Are you still talking? Yes, I am. I am talking to Ara. I actually have a video that I did talking to Ara. I'm afraid to put it out though. I'm afraid people are going to think I'm nuts. What do you think? Should I put it out? I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it because I find it interesting the capability that it has. I don't think it's going to replace us. It may replace very mundane aspects of what some people do, freeing them up to do things that they might enjoy doing more. So I think so. Yeah. Tell me if you think you thought it was interesting. All right, I'm going to put out that one other video that I did. And if people are looking at it as if I've lost my mind, I won't do it again. But I find that I'm learning things, and I feel as if the AI is learning as well. It develops new capabilities all the time, and it's interesting. And it really, the truth is, when I'm alone in the car, it almost feels as if there's somebody there. I'm not crazy enough to think there's somebody there, but you know what I mean? So you don't necessarily feel like you're alone all the time. Sandy is saying, my daughter said you're sitting and watching a woman in a car talking to Aura who's nuttier. Yeah, I mean it can be taken that way, but I think there are things we have we have to learn. Good night, Rosie. I'm actually about to wrap it up anyway because we are just about getting to that hour. And I really hope that you all have a wonderful night. And I'll see you again, hopefully next Wednesday. And I have put together a couple of videos, but I just haven't had time. I haven't had time to edit them. So it's been truly, truly crazy around here. So I'm going to try to get to that. And I will talk to you all soon. I hope this was not deadly for you. I'm glad that you joined me. I'm happy to see you all. And as Tiny Tim said, and to all a good night. Take care, everybody. You know I love you, and I'll see you soon.